PDP pa àlejò ìyẹn lókọ̀ọ́ tí Dr. Isegun Philip ti wá àkọ́kọ́ àmọ́ àlàyé bí sọ lótọ́ tó kà wálẹ̀ kan tó máa wọ̀ wí. Ìrọ̀lẹ́ mo fi secretary PDP lẹ̀ ìrọ̀lẹ́ náà nìyẹn tó ká ṣò pé ohun tó wá lè torí àwọn kan ò mọ̀ àwọn kan ti gbọ́ àwọn kan ò gbọ́ àwọn òkú ní ẹgbẹ́ PDP nígbà kan rí àwọn lè ṣe wà ní ẹgbẹ́ PDP títí di olóṣèlú àwọn pòsítọ̀ tó máa ń lò wọ́n á kọ ìwé láti fi ṣọwọ́ sí ẹgbẹ́ wípé àwọn fi PDP sílẹ̀ tí wọ́n dẹ̀ máa sínú ìlú iṣẹ́ wa ní o àfi ká ṣe ní sùúrù àtúgbọ́ ẹ̀ láti lọ wọn PDP never press conference.
Leadership by calumny and shenanigans in Ondo PDP. First and foremost, I want to say good morning to you all. I am delighted to be with our committed, loyal, thoughtful, and hardworking party members and the General OPA Isegun Group Political Action. These people are not necessarily members of the PDP, but our valued contributors in our communities. Those who helped us tremendously in 2019. We appreciate you all. We are here today to provide clarity on two issues. First, to dispel and debunk the rumors, the lies from the pit of hell perpetrated by some misguided and disgruntled element that I, Dr. Isegun Philip Salonge, popularly known as OPA Isegun, is no longer a member of the People's Democratic Party. Nothing can be further than the truth. I remain as a lawyer and committed to the PDP and its ideal as ever before. I never at any point thought of decamping, departing, or abandoning the PDP. Neither did I decamp or abandon the PDP. Those who has put forward this ugly conjecture are doing so for their political expediency. And now that we have heard the truth from me, that I remain committed to the PDP, we must now lay this vicious lie where it belongs, the pit of hell. It has no part in life. There's no life to it. Some people created it, they fabricated it, they pushed it, they published it. They thought in their craftiness that it would never come to the light. It was done for a purpose. And we are grateful now that God gave us the opportunity to find this lie and deal with it before the damage could be done. Secondly, we're here to let our followers in Ondo North and nationwide know the issues we face in Ondo PDP and the step we've taken to right the injustice meted out to my person by the Ondo State PDP. Even though the PDP is a major democratic party founded on core tenets of democracy, most notably the protection of the civil liberties of its members and the general public. Well, the Ondo State PDP is saddled with a divisive, destructive, retrogressive, undemocratic, dysfunctional, and tyrannical management and leadership that has time and again sabotaged the party from winning elections in Ondo State. The Fatai Adams-led State Working Committee has ditched the party constitution. They've shredded the instituted civil rights. Most importantly, freedom of speech, freedom of association, the right to exist freely without coercion and without being bullied, and access to due process. Today, you cannot find any of these grounded principles, basic tenet of democracy in Ondo People's Democratic Party. To think so is to be in self-delusion. There is nothing like that in the PDP Ondo State anymore, since the Fatai Adams-led ESCO took over the leadership of the state 15 months ago. At no time in modern human history has a major political organization been run on shenanigans, finding members guilty of trump-up charges without due process, and at no time in the history of Nigeria has people been bullied and denied their rights and summarily dismissed from their association or party, like what has happened in Ondo State PDP in the past 15 months. Not even in the heydays of the dreaded General Sani Abacha military junta has a Nigerian been found guilty without trial and without being afforded a chance to defend themselves of any charges or accusations levied against them. Since the emergence of the Fatai Adam as the state party chairman, the Ondo State PDP has operated a guilty as charged approach to issues and acted with wanton disregard for the civil rights afforded the party members by the constitution of the party and that of Nigeria. The state party chairman Fatai Adams and his cronies have turned themselves into the accuser, the prosecutor, the jury, and the judge. The worst and the scariest of it all is that they have also assumed the right to speak for the accused. This is tyranny in its most unrivaled form in the history of humanity. The core of my lawsuit, because we've gone to court, because Fatai Adams summarily dismissed me from the party by his own dictum, by his own way of doing things, without talking to me, without hearing from me. They fabricated a lie, they published it, they acted on it. And when I finally called him to let him know that none of that is true, he would not listen to any of it. So, the core of my lawsuit against the PDP is based on the my improper expulsion from the party by the illegal, callous, and unconstitutional actions of the state party chairman, Mr. Fatai Adams. Sometimes in October 2021, the party chairman, Fatai Adams, summarily declared that I have decamped from the PDP to the APC and communicated same to the party secretariat at Wadada House, Abuja, in a masked and shoddily orchestrated effort to clear the road for his puppet, for his preferred senatorial candidate, whom I defeated in the 2018 party primaries. Despite providing credible information to the contrary, Fatai Adams refused to reconsider his decisions to banish me from the party without due process, based on unverified rumors and lies that he and his cronies fabricated, first to feed their egos, secondly, to satisfy their fantasies, and third, to accomplish their political expediency. I am not oblivious of the fact that Fatai Adams has an axe to grind with me. Why? Because Fatai Adams has a penchant for abusing his office, bullying party members to submission, and preventing people from joining the People's Democratic Party. This is unheard of. A major party where a state chairman is telling local chapter chairmen that they should not accept people to the party just because Fatai has an issue with them. This is not the way the PDP was founded. When we joined this party, I joined in Akwa Ibom State. I was a stranger in that place, but the people embraced me and they made me feel wanted and at home. But for somebody to be in Ondo State, an indigen of Ondo State, and the state party chairman says they cannot join the party, is a violation of the freedom of association that is clearly implied in the constitution of the party and that of Nigeria. So I'll give an instance. In January of the year 2021, Fatai Adams suspended 5 party members for visiting with the former governor of Ekiti State, a PDP chieftain, in the person of His Excellency Governor Ayodele Fayose. 6 members, let's call this into mind. 6 people went to that meeting, right? Fatai only suspended 5. Why? Because one of those people is a sitting senator, in the person of Senator Nicholas Tofuomo. And what did happen? Fatai only saw pictures of these people meeting with Fayose on WhatsApp. And why were these people there? They were there to consult with Fayose, His Excellency now, on how to benefit and improve their chances in the Southwest Regional Congress. I do not know if that is wrong, but for Fatai, that is enough for him to suspend these people without hearing from them. I think the meeting took place in Lagos. Before those people would journey back to Akure from Lagos, they've been suspended from the party. It became an issue. These people were, if I may mention them, Honorable Rashid Elegbeleye, Honorable Ebenezer Alabi, Mr. Ibine, Honorable Lad Ojomo, and Ayo Fadaka. None of these people were afforded the due process. None of them were allowed to even say what they were at Governor Fayose's house for. And in political parties, people have the right to associate. We call it caucus. We call this group. We call it factions. A political party without interest group is a dead party. But for Fatai, whenever your interest is at discrepance with his own, when you are not towing his line, when he cannot control what you do, you are simply out of the party. He will throw you out. He's done that before. He has done it to me now. And why did he do it to me? Well, because when he suspended these people, I took issues with it. I chastised him for his jaundice, minimalist, isolationist approach to his party leadership. Also, I petitioned the National Secretariat that he should be cautioned, or at least reprimanded, for doing what I would call, to my best knowledge, actions detrimental to party growth in Ondo State. How could you suspend people for visiting with Fayose? Is Fayose the enemy? Fayose is a PDP chieftain, the former leader of the party in the Southwest region, an influential member of this party. And if some people feel associating with Fayose is what gives them the chance to win in the Southwest Congress, so be it. They have that right. But for Fatai, it is an unforgivable sin, punishable by suspension from the party without hearing from them. So, and I must say again that Fatai blocked several people. I told you about this. People want to join our party, maybe members from APC or people who were in PDP before and they decamped, right? They want to come back to the PDP. And Fatai Adams will call that party local chairman and people there and tell them, you accept this person at your peril, do not accept them. And a good example is Honorable Adeyinka Banso from Akoko North Southwest, a former member of the State House of Assembly, wants to come back to his old party. But just because, of course, he's not somebody that Fatai can control, he's not somebody that Fatai can bully to submission, Fatai doesn't want him in the party. And his immediate action is to inform that chairman, thou shalt not accept Adeyinka Banso into the party, or you do so at your own peril. This is not acceptable. And so, for me, if you look statewide, this is just one singular example. If you go to every senatorial district, stories like this abound. Okay? Ever since I appear on the Ondo state political scene, Fatai Adams' horse has been God. Why? I refuse to yield to his extreme control tactics and methods. He has sought ways after ways to diminish my influence or erase me from the Ondo People's Democratic Party at every turn on the road. Unfortunately for Fatai Adams, I am too big. I must state this. I'm just too big. Not just because of me, but because of the people you see behind here. They're just a fraction of our people. This meeting was intended just for 6 people, right? Look behind you. A meeting meant for 6 people. Our leader in Ose, our group leader in Owo, our group leader in Akoko Southeast, our group leader in Akoko Southwest, our group leader in Akoko Northeast, and our group leader in Akoko Northwest, and myself. 7 people were supposed to be here to talk this thing over. But if you look behind us in this hall, I guess we have more than 100 people. That's just to show you that Fatai don't understand that I am Dr. Olusegun Phillips Alonge. The name of Isegun is way too big because it is a group. I'm just a small member of it. The real Opa Isegun is bigger than me, is stronger than me, and is way too much for anybody to erase from the PDP. So if I may return to my statement, he has sought to remove me from this party, but I'm just too big, too bold, too popular, and too well established in the party to be flushed down Fatai Adams' ignoble drain. It's not just something his drain can handle. Otherwise, he would have done that way before now. Think about it. I won the party primary, senatorial primary in 2018, and that same night, Fatai Adam petitioned Abuja that ticket should be taken from me. That is how far and how much he has done to make sure that he gets me out of this party. I joined the PDP on an ideological basis. And to all of us who knows the meaning of ideology, when you are doing something because that's your ideology of life, nobody can push you out of it. Nobody can make you stop it. And nobody is going to make me quit the People's Democratic Party. Not Fatai Adams. Not even the national chairman. Not even the party itself. I'm a Nigerian. I know my rights. I have what is called freedom of association. It's my constitutional right. So today, I have approached the judiciary because the party's internal issues resolution mechanism has failed woefully. I did approach local leaders to settle this matter, none of whom were able to sway Fatai one way or the other. Of course, it's a tyrant, it's a rigid mind. Objectivity is dead, and it doesn't exist in Fatai's dictionary. And secondly, I approached the Southwest chairman, who should at least be able to resolve this issue, yet he failed to. Not even a response from him. And thirdly, I approached the National Secretariat, the then acting national chairman. Bearing in mind this started in October 2021, we have an acting chairman who, for one reason or the other, also did not respond. And as it is, well, it appears that my only remaining resource or recourse is to approach the court. And I am very confident that justice will be served in this manner. And when I say the court now, I mean the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Because this is not a matter that I can just let fly or sweep under the rug. once somebody has taken it upon themselves to report to Abuja that I have decamped from the party, and he removed my name from the delegate to the national convention, which of course is my right. So those two actions now, and by him reporting to national that I have decamped from the party, I'm no longer in the party, those are not actions that I can sit back and just let go. Even if I'm not running for office again, such slander, such character assassination should not be allowed, and is not allowed by our constitution. We're a nation of laws. We're a nation that is governed by constitutional principles. And as far as I'm concerned, this egregious act has been placed before the court. And I want to tell you, we are committed to this cause. And I'm sure that justice will be served at the end of the day. And bearing in mind, when we say the court, we mean up to the Supreme Court. So at this time, that's all I want to talk about. And I will thank all of you here and Nigeria as a whole. The PDP member, please don't say this part. Long live
information. Now, permit me to ask any question.
Sir, my name is Bololu Esho from Dead. At least maybe appeared in court in this respect. Initiated the suit.
Thank you, sir. The suit, it's not something I can handle. I will let the attorney here deal with that.
The part of the question bordering on whether there has been any court appearance or any response from the defendants. Well, essentially, I will let you guys know that there are 5 defendants. The first 2 are the local government chairman of Akoko Northwest local government of the party, and the second is the state party chairman, whilst the 3rd defendant is the vice chairman. The 4th defendant is the national chairman, whilst the 5th defendant is the board of trustees of the People's Democratic Party. Yes, we've got a response from the first 2 defendants. That is the Akoko Northwest local government chairman of the party, and Fatai Adams, the state party chairman. Now, as to whether there has been any appearance in court, the answer is in the negative. Because normally when you find this kind of action, you have to wait out 30 days before you apply that the matter be set down for hearing, in default of the pleadings of the other 3 defendants who have refused to answer, even as we speak. Does that answer your question? Then with respect to your request for the reliefs, it is called reliefs, not prayers. The reliefs on the face of the claim. Yes, essentially, let me quickly run through that. There are about 8 reliefs in all. But only the first one is primarily targeted at the party. That is, the one requesting that the convention, the proposed convention of the party, should be put in abeyance. Because normally when you go to court, you expect all the parties to maintain the status quo. Yes, then the other about 7 reliefs are essentially about the impunity, the alleged, let me use the word alleged, the alleged impunity of the state party chairman. And the biggest of them all is that we're asking that it be made by the court to pay punitive damage in the sum of 100 million naira. But like you requested, at the end of the conference, I'll let you have the reliefs. Thank you so much. Does that answer your question? When we were filing, we did not expect the defendants to be irresponsible. In other words, we never envisioned that they would go ahead with the proposed convention, because the right thing to do would be to wait out since we were in court, because we approached court, we filed the matter on the 4th day of October. That was about three weeks clear of the date proposed for the convention. Now, as to the other leg of your question, bordering on whether we would ask the court to overturn the convention. Oh yes, that's an option. But it depends on the interest and the instruction given to us by the client. Understand that I'm only a lawyer, not the client. Now, because at the time we were filing, we didn't envision that this would happen. Now it has happened. So we wait out for the instructions of our client as to whether that's an option that we should explore. Does that answer your question? Thank you so much.
All right, if I may. So, I have been disenfranchised Dr. Olafeso was also disenfranchised, right? Because the party refused to clear him to participate in the convention or in the national ESCO or seeking office does not mean the party is right. See, this, if you look at the title of what I put here, I said, ending leadership by calumny and shenanigans in the PDP. It doesn't mean this is limited to Ondo PDP. It exists everywhere. Just because a group of people sat and removed Dr. Olafeso and a few people because they went to court, well, they might have a justification that there were internal resolution mechanisms that Dr. Olafeso and his people didn't consult. But what's their justification now for taking any revenge action against me? I didn't talk to leaders. I did. I spoke to all the BOT members, Board of Trustee members who are from Ondo State, 3 of them. I wrote them, I called, I texted, no response. I approached the Southwest chairman, right? That's the next step, no response. I approached the national chairman, no response. So the responsibility on part of the party cannot now be blamed on me. It can't. I have done everything I should do as a faithful party member, right? I have approached this issue internally. And if you look at the communication I sent out to the party member at that time, I expressly stated that this thing should not become public until it has become clear that the party is not interested in solving this matter internally. So now the party has itself to blame, not me. As a Nigerian, I have been disenfranchised. I have approached that body that is responsible for settling these issues internally. But yet, they might come out and say they expelled me from the party. We all know what happened to the case of Adedibu versus PDP. It's still very fresh in Nigeria and several others. Because finding fault on my part is not what we can be talking about. I do not want a lawsuit by any means. I tried. If by what I have experienced in this party through Fatai Adams, Clement Faboyede, and their cronies, this lawsuit was long overdue. But I have kept it where it belongs internally. Our leaders know these things, and our party members know it too. I have been afraid. And my not wanting to cause a stir or sue the party has emboldened these people. He has given them the power to think that they can just do anything. But that has to stop now. Enough is just simply enough.
Hello. Thank you. Ondo nothing, so that do live up. And what
Adams so near Wuru, as BOT members as well, because Fatai Adam and his cronies sabotaged our effort. That's why we didn't win that election, right? We'll move forward. That's the only way this party will be stable. And pointing accusing fingers. And so
more question. No more question. Please.